Welcome to Teaching Tips with Nay and Indigo. Indigo is 8 and she's going to be my little helper today. Our first step with inclusion, we need to get to know the individual students in our class. Hopefully you've been given some information by your school about the needs of your student. We need to know about what the student loves, what do they like to do, what motivates them, their behaviour challenges, what triggers their behaviour challenges, and the support that they need in that situation. So, sorry, the dog's mucking around in the background there. Something that can work really well with students with learning challenges or behavioural challenges or disabilities is timers. We might have some sheets mapping out the lessons. So we might have one that says for the first 15 minutes we're going to be playing games, and it might match up with your visual cue board. For the second 30 minutes or for 30 minutes of the lesson, we're going to be doing ball activities with the basketball. So you would match the timer with the visual cue relevant to the activity. And then the last 15 minutes of the lesson may be another activity that you have on your visual cue board. I've introduced you to visual cue boards before, and with the visual cue boards, they can work for all students in your class. You don't just have to have an individual cue board for the student with the disability, but you can have that overall class one. Some students may like to carry around their own individual plan. You can laminate for the day what they're doing, or have a little sheet with the breakdown of their visual cues, and they can carry it from activity to activity and sort of visually tick things off as they move around through the class. First and then is language that works really well too, so that you can try and encourage your students to engage in the lesson. So today with Indigo, first we're going to be doing some jumping, Indigo. But Indigo doesn't really love jumping. However, she loves basketball and bouncing any sort of ball. So that's the then activity. She knows to do basketball, she first needs to do jumping. So Indigo, if you can put your hands out in front like this, and we're going to bend our knees down and jump up. Fantastic. How about we do 10 more of those? Ready and go. Excellent. I really like how you're reaching right up, and try and land nice and soft. When you land, try and land with very sounds. Excellent. Oh, that's much better. Fantastic. I really like how you're bending your knees when you land too. Right, that was 10. So we've done our first activity. Even though Indigo doesn't love jumping, she knows that then basketball is coming, so she's likely to engage. Now, choice can work really well for students too. So Indigo may like the feel of this ball. It's got a little bit more ridging on it, but it's actually a bit slippery. So some students will really like that style of ball because it's got a Jordan, it's a Jordan ball. This one has got a much smoother surface, and you may prefer that. So I'm going to give Indigo choice. She may be motivated by the colour blue, or it may be the feel that she likes. Allowing your students a little bit of choice can help them engage in the learning. Which ball would you like today, Indigo?
Blue one.
Why am I not surprised? All right, excellent. So we're going to have a go at doing some bouncing. Now, something's not going to go your way soon, and it's okay if you stomp around a bit, all right? All right, so we're going to try and hold the ball, our fingertips on here, and we can try and push. Excellent. All right, well done. And then keep bouncing. All right, and then someone's come and pushed their ball away, broken the lettuce in the process, and Indigo is not happy. You're going to have a bit of a stomp around. So Indigo has gone from being happy, and now she's very grumpy because her favourite blue ball has been taken away from her. Now, she might only be in what we would call the yellow zone here. So blue or green zone is our happy zone. She wasn't happy about the doing our jumps, but she knew basketball was coming, so she was okay. Blue and green zone. She's now gone to the yellow zone. We can still learn when the students are in that yellow zone of behaviour or being triggered by something. But if the birds continue to be really loud and there was lots and lots of noisy basketballs bouncing, and if Indigo's ball continued to get hit away by a student in the class, or she continued to not have success with what she was doing, she may go into what we call the red zone with her behaviour. That's not a time for teaching. I'm going to give Indigo the option. So Indigo, I can see that you're really upset. I have got your favourite hula hoop over here. I'm happy for you to move away and swing the hula hoop, or I'm happy for you to have a lie on the hammock to swing and relax and calm yourself down. And when you're ready to rejoin, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. When you're ready to rejoin, you can come and join. What would you like to do, the hammock or the hoop? All right, so Indigo's chosen to use the hula hoop to calm herself down. So she's in that red zone. There's no way that there's any learning going to happen if she's really, really grumpy. The noise has set her off. Moving her away to a quiet place where she can just do her hula hooping and rebalance. Now, it may not be hula hooping that your students choose. They may need earphones on to block the noise, to lower that sensory, so the sensory sensitivity isn't triggered. Or it may be just sitting in the quiet corner, or often in the specialist setting they'll have iPads with the headphones and it might have music on it. That's okay. It's not about the student getting their way for being naughty. It is the fact that they've been triggered, there's sensory overload, and there's no point trying to learn and teach in that situation. Hopefully that has helped give some tips and tricks on some activities or things such as visual cues, having the timer. Obviously the timer wouldn't be on sheets of paper. I don't have my clock that I have at school that's got a big red section on it for the time that we're doing each activity. So you would actually set it and they would see the red counting down. They'd actually know when that activity was going to finish. But you get the idea about being organised with your lesson planning, with your teaching cues, your language. Giving them some choice is fine, and when they're triggered, don't try and teach. Indigo, I'll ask you to rejoin if you're ready. Do you feel calm and ready to rejoin?
Yes.
What do you think it was that made you get angry then, set you off?
That you kept on pushing the ball away.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that no one keeps pushing the ball away and you can rejoin the activity. So we can either teach a model by with our demonstrations, but some students with a disability will connect particularly to a student. So it may be another peer in their class that they always seem to connect and learn well from. You might ask that student to model the activity for the child in your class who has a disability. Or if you're in the specialist setting, you'll know which students work really well together and they can model the activity for each other. The other thing that can work if you've pre-videoed the activity. So if I had pre-videoed the jumping activity or the bouncing activity that I wanted Indigo to do, and if it was a game where the ball was being tapped away, if I had given her a video showing her that we're doing tap out and the people will knock the ball away, she would have been prepared with that video if I had have shown her that before the class. Skill books are a really good thing as well if you want to show the students what the skill looks like by visual pictures in a book, or telling social stories. Some students will love social stories that will tell you, so it might start off, today in PE we are going to be starting off trying to jump like we're jumping to the stars, and you're going to reach down, you're going to twinkle your fingers behind, and then you're going to reach up. So social sort of stories, telling what's happening in the day coming up in PE can be either something that works well for students, or some students really dislike it. But a skill book or a flip book can work too. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Indigo, for being our fabulous demonstrator today. We hope you enjoyed it.